Have you spent years feeling like something about you is just different? Like you're constantly working harder than everybody else just to get through a normal day? And maybe you have looked up ADHD or autism and thought, some of this fits, but not all of it. If that sounds familiar, stay with me because what you might be experiencing is AuDHD. And today I'm going to walk you through 20 signs that most people and most professionals can completely miss. Hi, I'm Liz. I've got 20 years experience working with AuDHD families, children, young people, and adults. I've got advanced diplomas, CBT counselling, a graduate certificate, inclusive education, and I work with AuDHD families every single day through my practice. What I'm sharing with you today comes directly from that work and not from a textbook. It's from real people. So let's get into it. Before the signs, a quick note that ADHD isn't a formal diagnosis. It's the term we use to describe people that have both autism and ADHD. And it's not a medical term, but it matters because when you combine them, you don't just get autism plus ADHD. You get a completely unique neurological experience where the two conditions interact. They can mask each other. They can create patterns that don't fit neatly into either category alone. That's why so many people get missed. So here are the signs. Sign one, you feel exhausted in a way you can't explain. Not tired from doing too much, but exhausted, just processing every sensory input, every social interaction. This is what we call masking fatigue. And it's one of the most common things that I hear from ADHD adults. Sign two is you're either hyper-focused or completely unable to start a task. There's no middle ground. You can spend 6 hours obsessively researching something that interests you, then stare at a simple email for 40 minutes, unable to begin a response. This isn't laziness. It's a dopamine and executive function pattern, and it's specific to ADHD. Sign three is social situations drain you, even when you enjoy them. You can be genuinely happy to be with people you love and still need 2 days to recover from a dinner party, for example. That's the autistic nervous system processing social input at a much higher cost than for neurotypical people. Sign four is you rehearse conversations before they actually happen. So you prepare for every possible direction they could go. Then you replay that conversation afterwards, analyzing what you said. This is exhausting and it's very specific ADHD pattern. Sign five is routine feels both essential and suffocating. I see this all the time as a pull push fight. You need predictability to function, but then you feel totally trapped by it. You create systems and then rebel against the systems you created. So, this push pull is the ADHD need for novelty, fighting the autistic need for sameness. Sign six is you have very strong opinions about textures, sounds, or smells, not just mild preferences, but genuine physical distress about things. So, a scratchy label, a certain sound, a smell in a room that nobody else seems to be bothered by. Sensory sensitivity that goes far beyond what most people experience. Sign seven, you've always felt like you're performing, like there's a version of you that shows up in public and a real version of you that almost nobody sees. You've learnt those rules of social interaction and you follow them, but it never feels natural. Sign eight is you lose track of time in both directions. So either time disappears completely during hyperfocus, or you have no sense of how long something will take anyway. Both are time blindness and both are signs of ADHD. Sign nine is your emotional reactions feel bigger, much, much bigger than the situation. Something small can feel absolutely catastrophic. Rejection, even minor social rejection, it hits much harder than it should. This is rejection sensitive dysphoria combined with autistic emotional intensity. Sign 10, you know a huge amount about one or two specific topics. You're not just interested, you're genuinely expert level, sometimes without a formal training, simply because your brain went so deep. So, special interests are a core autistic trait that ADHD hyperfocus just supercharges. Sign 11, you struggle with transitions, moving from one task to another, leaving the house, ending a conversation, switching from work to home. Transitions require executive functioning and nervous system flexibility that ADHD brains find genuinely difficult. Sign 12 is that you interpret things literally and then wonder if you misunderstood. You take instructions at face value. You can miss sarcasm. You get caught out, perhaps, by figures of speech. And then you second guess yourself and you wonder if you were overthinking. Sign 13, you have a complicated relationship with eye contact. Either it can feel unnatural, you have to remind yourself to do it, or you've learned to do it so well that it now feels like a performance rather than a genuine connection. Sign 14 is you find unstructured time overwhelming. People say, just relax, and you have no idea what that means. Free time without a plan creates anxiety rather than a feeling of rest. Your brain needs something to organize itself around. Sign 15, you're much better in one-to-one conversations than groups. So groups are unpredictable. Multiple conversations, background noise, trying to track who to look at and when to speak. It's too much processing at once. One person is manageable, but groups can be exhausting. Sign 16, you have a strong sense of justice. Unfairness, dishonesty, or cruelty affects you really deeply, often more than it affects people that are directly involved. ADHD brains often have an intense moral compass that makes injustice genuinely distressing. Sign 17, you've been called too sensitive, too intense, or too much by teachers, partners, family, perhaps. You learn to make yourself smaller. That's not a personality flaw. That's what happens when a sensitive nervous system is told that it's wrong. Sign 18 is your sleep is complicated. So you maybe have trouble getting to sleep, staying asleep, waking up too early, having a completely reversed sleep cycle. The ADHD brain doesn't regulate sleep the same way, and this is severely underrecognized. Sign 19, you work much better under pressure or completely fall apart. Either the deadline creates a dopamine that you need to finally start, or the pressure causes a complete shutdown. There's very little consistent middle ground there. Sign 20, reading this list feels uncomfortably familiar. Not one or two signs, but most of them. That pattern of recognition, that feeling of finally having language for something you've lived with your whole life, that's significant. Really clear, this isn't a diagnosis, and only a qualified professional can assess for autism and ADHD. But if most of these resonate, it's absolutely worth exploring further. I've put a self-assessment tool in the description below that you can use as a starting point. And I always would recommend you to seek out professional help and professional support. If you'd like to go deeper, my course Thriving with AuDHD is also linked. It's built from 20 years of working with AuDHD individuals and covers practical strategies for every area of life. If this video helps you feel seen, please give it a like and subscribe, and tell me in the comments, which of these signs hit hardest for you? I read every comment and I genuinely like to know. So I'll see you in the next video.